What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. Today, I have 3 life lessons that I learned from sitting in the back of an Uber driver. These weren't lessons that I actually learned from the Uber driver. They were lessons that I learned from watching and paying attention to the Uber driver. And honestly, they broke my heart and made me feel really, really sad. And if you guys take offense to these life lessons, or you guys, catch yourself, identifying with what I'm talking about, I'm going to be really unapologetic here. And if you want to call me a D-bag, totally fine. Like, yeah, I could be pretty apathetic when it comes to, life lessons and stuff, but I'll go ahead and dive into it. 3 lessons that I learned from sitting in the back of an Uber driver. So I'm coming in from Dallas, right? I land in San Diego and I need to ride home. So I call an Uber. Mind you, I look like crap. My hair is down. It's all curly. It's afroed up. I'm like on 3 hours of sleep. I'm wearing this shitty sports jacket, and I just like drag myself in this car. And the Uber driver says, "Oh, you're going to La Jolla?" And I'm gonna say, "Yeah, that's where I live." And La Jolla is a pretty nice affluent area. He can see that the address he's dropping me off on is right next to the beach, and he goes, "Interesting. What do you do?" And I told him about my program. I told him about PTBI, told him about how we help personal trainers get started with business. And he didn't even let me finish my sentence. He says, "I have an idea for you." I said, "Okay, cool." I sat back. I had my ears open. I listened. And he goes, "You should," or he goes, "I had this idea where trainers should set up monitors and they can train virtually through screen recordings, and they can have 12 monitors set up to watch 12 different people. And, this is great because they can train multiple people at once, and they can do it from anywhere. They don't have to be at a location. They can just clock in." And I go, "Well, I didn't say this, but in my head, I went, yeah, people are already doing that, right?" And the next thing he goes, or what else you can do, he goes, "You can take someone from point A and help them get to point B and just help them with the programming and just tell them what to do." I'm like, "Yeah, people are already doing that." Right. And it was very interesting to me because the rest of the car ride, I'm listening to this guy's ideas, right? I'm listening to all these great ideas that he has that I should do for my business and people, or all these, business ideas that are, yeah. And another one he goes is like, I tell him about the educational process and how, our program is kind of like school, to where school, you get a textbook, you get classroom time, and you get office hours. In our program, you get an online course, you get coaching calls, and you get one-on-one access to me. And he goes, "Well, you should do virtual reality." And I go, "What? Like virtual reality? What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, people learn different when they have, other stimulus. And so if you can put them in a program where you can do virtual reality," and, and then at that point, I just stopped listening. I was like, why am I listening to this conversation? And it honestly broke my heart because 3 things stood out to me while I was watching him share those ideas. Number one, right, is if this person wanted to seize an opportunity, he would have asked more questions rather than telling me what I should do, right? Right after I got on the Uber, I got on a call with one of my really good friends who is a very successful entrepreneur, a 7-figure entrepreneur. And the first 30 minutes he spent asking me questions. What are your goals? What are you planning to do to get to those goals? What's your process look like? He's asking me all these questions and I'm giving him the answers, right? And I realized that I ask questions more often than I actually give advice, unless it's inside PTBI. But when I'm with people who are smarter than me, I'm never talking. I never try to one up them. I never try to tell them what I'm doing, like to try to impress them. I never try to, step up. I'm always asking questions because if this person's more successful than me, then they know things that I don't. And I have no problem humbling myself and putting myself on a lower level to ask questions and learn from people who are smarter than me. And I thought, man, if I was this Uber driver, I would have shut up and asked questions. But it was interesting that he did the opposite. And obviously, I didn't take any of the advice that he gave me because, why would, it was just unaligned, right? It was just unaligned. But I thought that was very, very interesting. So, lesson number one is ask more questions and stop talking, right? When there's people in there that are better than you, that are smarter than you, that are farther along than you, don't try to tell them what to do. Don't try to share your impressive idea. Ask questions and learn. Rule number 2, or lesson number 2, right, is that ideas don't mean shit. Ideas do not mean shit. You can have the greatest idea in the world. It is not going to be shit. You will be left driving an Uber, right? Execution is everything, right? This Uber driver had great ideas. There are people that I know that have coaching business that follow that same exact model that are making six figures, multiple six figures, and even seven figures a year off of that simple idea. But guess what? They had the same idea as an Uber driver. There was no difference in the idea or the brain capacity to come up with that idea. It's all execution, right? So your ideas won't make you rich. Your ideas won't make you special at all. Execution separates you, right? Actually getting it done. Now, what that Uber driver could have done is taken his idea and actually executed on it. And now he would be separated. Now he would be further along. So ideas don't mean shit. They don't make you special whatsoever. And nobody wants to hear about your ideas, honestly. Right? Nobody wants to hear about your ideas. Ask questions and execute, right? Lesson number 3 is don't take advice from your Uber driver. If someone is not where you want to be, if someone is not, living the life that you want to live, why would you take advice from them? They have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to you and your situation. Why would I go through a virtual reality? Well, I'm not going to say no. In the future, who knows? But for right now, I'm not thinking about making a virtual reality education program for personal trainers. In the future, maybe, but you know, but if I listened to that idea and thought, well, maybe this guy knows something, I would have just been thrown so far off course, right? But so many people do that when it comes to listening to their parents, when it comes to listening to their friends, when it comes to listening to their grandparents, when it comes to listening to their family or people that are close. These people have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea where you're going. They have no idea where they're going, right? They're not asking questions. They're giving you advice and telling you what you should do. And you're listening. You're listening to the Uber driver. Don't listen to the Uber driver, right? Unless someone is where you want to be, ask questions and then you can listen, right? Honestly, it was heartbreaking. I was very, very sad because I was like, this is the exact opposite of what people should be doing. And I want you guys to take those life lessons and really apply them, right? Ask questions. Second one is execute. And the third one is don't take advice from your Uber driver. Hope this hits home, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.